In today's video, we're going to be working on a Tyco Rock Island locomotive. I got this at the Lebanon train show, and it doesn't work, so I'm not sure what's going on with it, but we're going to try to fix it today, so let's go test it. Okay, we got it all set up on the tracks, but before we test it, I'm going to show you some of the other locomotives I got at the train show. So these are all the other engines, starting here down to here. All the other engines I got at the train show. Some of them will need work. Some of them I've already done some work on. This one, the big DD40, it worked, but I just serviced it. This also worked and I serviced it, which, by the way, I got some great deals. I got this Athearn, which this is shells all metal. I got these two as a set for $6. And then I also got this Athearn BMSF, I believe it's a -9. And it had DCC installed, but I removed the DCC and just rewired it so it's now DC, because the DCC wasn't working with my DC controller. I got this Hobbytown RS3, which works, but it has some noise issues, so that'll need some work. I got this was the cheapest engine I got. I got this AHM RS3 for $2, and it actually kind of works in one direction. Got this Revell New Haven engine. It's completely seized. And I got this Hobbytown engine for only $5, and it has the original box. So, not a bad deal. And some of these also, the DD40 also had an original box too. It's an old Athearn box. So yeah. So let's get back to the video. So yeah, I got all of those engines and this one. And then I also got a lock-on and a few other things. But yeah, so let's test this engine. Alright, let's give it some power. So yeah, so when we put power in, we just get a light, no humming motor, and there's not high current draw, so I don't think we have a seized drive. I think just somehow power's not getting to the motor, so it's about what it's been doing. I've tested it a couple times, so that's what it's been doing, so let's go see if we can fix it. Okay, we got it back over here to the workbench, and I think we'll just begin by getting the truck out of the frame. Okay, we got that out of there, and doesn't look too bad. You can see some old grease in there, but yeah, it doesn't look too bad. So I think now let's just try to get the truck cover and get it all disassembled off. Okay, got that piece off, so now I'm just gonna get the truck cover off. Okay, got the truck cover off, all unscrewed now. Okay, it doesn't look too bad in here. Looks pretty clean, really. Yeah, didn't look bad at all. Should also note this is turning quite well, so that's a good sign too. So yeah, I think we can just proceed to take off this other gear. I don't think I'm going to take off this gear, since this is turning fine. I don't think I'm going to take that gear off, just because that's kind of hard to get back on. But yeah, let's get this gear off. Okay, we got that gear off, and there definitely is some old grease under there, but honestly isn't necessarily bad grease, but I think I will go ahead and take it off. But yeah, so let's go ahead and clean that up a little bit. Okay, we got this side of the motor cleaned up a little bit, so why this alcohol evaporates. Let's look at this side, and yeah, looking through those holes, the commutator looks quite dirty. I still don't see any electrical problems with this thing though. I'm not really sure what could be going on with it. I don't know, maybe, I'm really not sure. Maybe it's just sat for a long time. No, we'll find out. This doesn't look too bad, but I didn't see any springs. Are those? Oh, they're just caught up inside. Okay, yeah. Those springs don't look so great. Yeah. Let's see if I can get it on here so you can see better. Yeah, it's not going to want to focus, but those springs do not look very good. Locomotive has clearly had quite a bit of use, but let's just try to clean her up. So I think now we can go ahead and clean the commutator. Okay, we got the commutator all polished up, and that looks 100% better. It's honestly possible that that was just so dirty that no power could flow through, and that's why this engine isn't working, because you can see this all turns quite good when I turn that gear down there. So let's go ahead and, because I'm kind of worried that the motor could be burnt out. So what I'm going to do to test that is put some wires directly onto the motor face, which isn't always what you want to do, but dang it. Well, one of the springs just flew back there. I'll try to find that later. But, alright, let's see. I can see some stuff burning in between the plates. So, let's see if we can clean the gaps out a little bit better. Okay, got those cleaned out. Now let's try this again. It didn't really seem like it wanted to go. I don't know. Let's try this again. And get this all positioned right. Yeah, that's working great. Yeah, that's not bad at all. That's unlubricated too. So I think this will be just fine. So yeah, I think now we can go ahead and try to get this cover on. First, I'm going to see if I can find that spring. I doubt I'm going to be able to find it. Okay, so I had to look through just some of my parts and stuff, and I was not able to find any springs. So I just have this piece of metal I'm going to kind of try to cut down and put in there. I know that's not a good solution, but I don't really have any better options. You know, when I'm looking here, I don't see the other spring. Maybe it decided to jump away too. I don't see the other spring either. Well, that's not good. Well, I guess I'll just try to cut this metal and use it for both of them. I don't know. This is not a good solution, but I think it's one of the only things I might have a chance of getting it working. But yeah, I think now we can just try to get this all back together with my solution here. So, I don't know. Let's see, does that even fit down the middle port? I don't even think that's even gonna fit. It's not even gonna fit down in there. I don't think that'll work. Well, I'm gonna go look around and see if I have anything I could try to craft up a spring out of. Okay, I think I might have figured out a solution. What I have here is just part of a green wire that I just stripped all the stuff off of, and I think I might be able to make a spring out of it. So, I don't know. I did lose the other spring too somehow, so I'm gonna have to try to make them both. So, just gonna kind of just coil a little spring around this, and then I can just cut it in half to make two of them. I don't know. I mean, honestly, best thing to do would just be to buy new springs, but yeah, before I go doing that, I'm gonna try to fix it on my own first. So, cut this down. Yeah, that might work. So yeah, hopefully we've got some springs crafted up now, so let's see if we can actually get this all back together. I think these springs might be a little too big. I'm gonna cut them, make them a little bit smaller. I think those should work a little better. I don't know, that actually seems like it could work. So yeah, let's try to get this motor from on now. Before I do that, I'm gonna put a tiny bit of oil in the spring. I'm gonna use conductive, just in case a tiny bit gets on the commutator. But not much. And yeah, let's see if we can manage to throw this back on. I don't know. We'll see about that. Yeah, let's get this all screwed back on. Of course, I seem to have lost the other screw, so I'm gonna take a look for it. Okay, well, I went around searching for the screw everywhere, and then I thought, well, maybe it could have stuck to the motor magnet. And yep, it's right in there, stuck to the magnet. So, we got that now. So, now we can get this screwed down. So yeah, that's all back together. Let's get the motor test, see if our spring solution is gonna work out. I kind of have a feeling it's not, but never know. And of course, it doesn't work. Ooh, okay, that's not good. This bearing is, the motor's not turning. Okay. We put something back together wrong, I think, because this was turning fine before. And now the motor won't turn at all. Well, that's great. I'm gonna mess with this off the camera, just take it apart again, see if I can figure out. Okay, it's now quite a while later. I did get the motor working. I took some springs out of a lifelike engine that, yeah, I took some springs out of a lifelike engine. So now the motor works. So I did, unfortunately, break this wire in that process, so we'll have to fix that, but it all turns now. And the motor does work, so that's good. So now we can kind of focus on this side. Actually, first I think we'll get this wire resoldered. So let me get these out of the way here. And I'll get my soldering iron out. I know this is a very large soldering iron for something small like this, and if I were doing circuit boards and stuff, it probably wouldn't work. But I just find that this gets hotter a lot faster, and just overall gets hotter, so it makes it a lot easier to get stuff soldered. There we go. Get that wire stripped. So now we can just put some flux on it. Oh no, you might not need flux, because there's already a bunch of solder on there. I don't know, we'll see if it goes. If it doesn't go the first time, I'll use some flux. Let's get this heated up. That was real easy. So yeah, that's why I like that soldering iron. I can get stuff done so fast with it. So yeah, we got that soldered. So now we can just service the gear side. So yeah, let's just put some oil in here. Got that oiled up, so now let's go to the bearings. Ready? Let's pop our wheels in. Okay, this doesn't look too bad. I think now we can go ahead and screw our truck cover back on. Seem to have lost my screwdriver. Let me find that. Okay, found my screwdriver. Okay, got all that tightened back together. Have one more screw I need to put in. Forgot to put this screw back in here. It just goes in right there. Okay, that's all together now. So this all looks pretty good. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in the teeth of the gears because I didn't really do that. see how that turns. Okay. Yeah, that turns fine. Alright. I think we can pretty much just put everything back together now. Let's get the truck back in the locomotive. Okay, we got that back in the locomotive. I guess one more thing we could do is just oil the rear bearings. Yeah, the screws are really tight. You can actually access the bearings from the outside. So I'm just gonna go a little bit from out here. Okay. Yeah, those turn fine. Oh, whoops, I messed that up. Got all the powered wheels on the same side. Whoops. Can't seem to get this on. Work with it. Okay, I think I finally got that back in, so let's go give it a test. Alright, got it all set up on the tracks. Let's see if it goes. Yeah, good. Yeah, that goes pretty good. Alright, good. I have to say, this engine was not the most pleasant to work on. Kept having a bunch of issues with it. But yeah, works pretty good, so thanks for watching.